I may have just ruined this entire trading challenge. In case you missed it, Donald Trump came out and said this.
Over the next few days, I think by the 9th they'll be fully covered. And they'll range in value from maybe 60 or 70% tariffs to 10 and 20% tariffs.
And markets really did not like it. And that's where I made a terrible trade. When ETH was breaking its structure, I decided to open a short. And that trade ended up making me $1,400. An 83% gain. And I'm just sick to my stomach. Because I have a rule for this challenge. And that is to not use over 20x. I used a 25x. Which means I can't count this in the $1,000 to $10,000 challenge.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But look, it's okay, because guess what? FOMO's now telling us we should be looking for a long position. Super simple. When the green side's higher than the red side, you want to be looking for a long. And it looks like if Ethereum drops to 24.49, market makers are going to have to push the price up because there's not going to be much liquidity left for Ethereum. And another major buy signal just popped up, the yellow line. You guys know this. The price loves to be attracted to the yellow line. The price of Bitcoin's like a bug, and it always wants to go towards the light. So let's do some calculations. It looks like there's some liquidity ranges that ETH wants to fill below us. Now you have to remember altcoins follow Bitcoin. So let's check Bitcoin real quick. Yeah, Bitcoin definitely has a little bit more room to drop. And it looks like it definitely wants to drop to 106,623. So let's check the order book and support regions. We got a resistance with a massive sell block, which means this is gonna be pretty hard resistance to break through, which means we're more than likely gonna come back to the next bright green zone, $107,000. So that tells me even though Ethereum wants to pump, we're more than likely gonna drop to the next region of support, which is all the way down at 24.55. And with all of our Bitcoin tools, that tells us Bitcoin's more than likely going to drop to 106,700. So let's set a limit order, 10x leverage, add a stop loss, and now let's go celebrate America's birthday. We're at the lake house. Kylo is ready to go swimming. How's the food, Kelly?
This is setting me up for what's coming in this market. I gotta load the cart for those green candles.
This is how you take care of people when they lose money in crypto.
It's quiet in my mouth. It's called a stop loss. That's what it's called, baby.
Stop losses.
Gay. So gay.
It's Sunday and now we're heading to Atlanta. Quick market update is ETH did have a small liquidity grab here, but we're still in between two major ranges. On top of this, you had Drake announce Bitcoin in a song, and you had Elon Musk announce the America Party, which, believe it or not, I believe is a stupid idea. Feed Jeff. Okay, so just entered an Ethereum short, 12 or 13x, light leverage there, but we just had a huge liquidation spike. So we're gonna try to catch a sweep to back to the downside here. Lost $150 on that trade.
The next morning.
Good morning, it's Monday, and we're in another trade. Lock the fuck in. The trade we took was a Bitcoin long here, 15x at 108, almost 200. The reason I took this trade was looking at the 4 hour on Bitcoin. We filled this market imbalance here, the CME gap on the futures market. And while I briefly turned this bottom liquidity range into support, which as it gets tested more and more, you want your stop loss right underneath it, which we have. We are looking at potentially an upside target of about $110,000. And with new trade deals being announced today, I expect the SPX and the NASDAQ to bounce into about midday trading. Make sure we can watch it as we head to lunch. It's so green in Georgia right now, but not as green as these candlesticks. All right, we closed for 1.86% loss. And the reason why we closed is holy shit, Donald Trump just won't stop tweeting, my man. This guy is like, we're going to have trade announcements. We're announcing trade deals today. We're going to announce the best trade deals ever. And then he's just like, you know what? That. I'm going to also announce that I'm going to slap tariffs across anybody with a small that thinks that they can use bricks instead of the US dollar. You know what that means? Bitcoin's going to move at 1% candlesticks nonstop all morning long. Because the art of the deal is to say that you're going to do one thing and then not do that thing, and then say you're going to do something else, but follow through with something else.
12 seconds later.
Ah! Anyways, I'm only down like $150 because I use stop losses. And we're back at the house with another live Discord update and a new trade. Because what we want to look for is going to be a sweep. We're looking to re-enter this market right now. We want to look for a sweep. Get those jets flying in the two towers.
We're not aiming for the truck.
Like and subscribe if you enjoyed that joke. All right, so for this trade that the Discord convinced me to take, we're using the magnet strategy. You put a magnet sticker, you open a trade. You can see we're up $8. I have been told by chat that I need a bigger magnet. So we're gonna just pull this thing. Apparently, the bigger the magnet, the bigger the candlestick. But real talk, the biggest news that was out in the markets today was XRP honestly making a comeback here with their new EVM capabilities. 1,400 smart contracts were deployed on the XRPL, which is why XRP is performing a little bit better than other altcoins at the moment. Yeah, Jack Dorsey announced some weird bit chat app that uses no Wi-Fi, no cell service, and is just Bluetooth, which is very interesting. Then you had what caused all the market turbulence today, which is all of the tariff announcements. Again, if you don't include the $1,400 profitable trade that we made over the weekend, we are down starting off this week with about $180. And to be honest, we may not want to actually trade until Wednesday, until all of the tariff announcements are pushed through and all the trade deals are announced on Wednesday the 9th. So don't be in the comments asking, Josh, are you in a trade? When trade, Josh? Did you place a trade, Josh? Don't do it. If you guys want to follow along, make sure you guys join the Discord. It's completely free. The link's in the description below, and just go to the Joshua Jake tab. And of course, I'll be using FOMO.io to wait on the liquidation sweep, which right now currently on the $1,000 to $10,000 challenge, we're at about $2,100. But after these losses, if we get stopped out, we'll be back to about 2K, which puts us up about 100% in just the last week and a half still. So come join the Discord so you stop missing out on all the free trades.